Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today this video is for my US Studies class. So if you have me for US Studies or AA US Studies, this is going to be a video you're going to want to watch. If you are not in that class, you are more than welcome to watch anyway. So today the video is going to be about the West Africans and their culture and a little bit about their history. The people and cultures of West Africa in the 1500s, like the region in which they lived, were incredibly diverse. Valuable natural resources and several key rivers encouraged West African kingdoms to develop prosperous trade networks that fueled growth. Their habitat wasn't very hospitable, but they made the best of it. Africa is a varied land. An enormous desert, the Sahara, dominates the northern part. So this area right up here, if you can see my mouse, this area is mostly desert. It is the Sahara, and it is the largest desert on the planet. To the south of the Sahara lies a broad grassland, or savanna. South of this savanna is a lush region that is well watered by several major rivers, including the Niger and the Senegal. The West African landscape abounds with valuable natural resources, in particular salt found in the Sahara and gold located in the valleys along the Atlantic coast. Now, let's talk about that for just a moment, because whenever we talk about valuable natural resources, gold, that's one of the first things that pops in everybody's mind, but salt is, you could say, even more valuable than gold. And you might be thinking, well, how is it more valuable than gold? They give away salt for free. I can go to a restaurant and ask for salt and they'll give it to me for free. Well, you have to think it back in these times. Salt was more, it was a required nutrient. You could use it to clean wounds. You could use it to cure and preserve meat. So salt was incredibly valuable and needed. Hundreds of years ago, these resources provided for a thriving trade network among the people of West Africa. This trade revolved around certain trading towns that grew into great and powerful empires. The trading empires of West Africa commanded trading routes that linked the region with North Africa, the Mediterranean, and Asia. Trade promoted rich and thriving cultures. Now, this trade brought together many people of many different cultures, many different walks of life, different places they lived. So not only did items get traded back and forth, but ideas and religions got traded back and forth as well. So let's take a minute and look at this map of these trade routes. Now, all of these roads that you see are major trade routes. The question at the bottom says, why was the location of West Africa so important to its role in international trade? So, if you're looking, what about this area made it important to international trade? Well, if you see, it's like a crossroads for people that are trying to get into Europe from South Africa. Also, it's right along the Atlantic Ocean. This is going to be a major sailing route that we're going to talk about later. So just due to its location, it's in a place where everybody's going to be. Everybody that's traveling is probably going through this area right here. Okay, so the first of these kingdoms that we're going to talk about is called Ghana. Between AD 300 and 1500, three kingdoms rose and fell in West Africa. The earliest kingdom, Ghana, expanded from the Sahara to the Gulf of Guinea and from the Atlantic Ocean to the Niger River. Ghana rose to prominence around AD 800. A thriving caravan trade with African peoples across the Sahara to Morocco resulted in extensive Muslim influence in North Africa. By the 11th century, Ghana supplied much of the gold for the Mediterranean region. The ancient kingdom had large towns, beautifully designed buildings, a system of commerce, and a complex political structure. Now, due to, like I said, all of these traders coming back and forth, they are going to pass around not more than just what the things that they were selling, but their ideas, their religions, their cultures. And because of all these people coming and going, Ghana became a very wealthy and powerful area simply due to all of the influence that they had over these trade routes. Foreign travelers recorded their accounts of Ghana's prominence, including the lavish lifestyle of Ghana's king in the 11th century. And we have a quote here from Al-Bakri, the Book of Routes and Realms. The king adorns himself, wearing necklaces around his neck and bracelets on his forearms, and he puts on a high cap decorated with gold and wrapped in a turban of fine cotton. He sits in audience to hear grievances against officials in a domed pavilion, around which stand 10 horses covered with gold-embroidered materials. Now, if you are wealthy enough that even your horses are covered with gold, that just goes to tell you how wealthy and how powerful the king of Ghana was. Now, every kingdom that rises will eventually fall, and attacks from the Almoravids, an alliance of peoples from the Sahara, eventually weakened Ghana's control of West African trade. Ghana started, whenever you were that wealthy, you're going to start pulling attention towards yourself. The kingdom's power faded until finally Ghana was supplanted around AD 1200 by a new kingdom known as Mali. The most famous ruler of Mali was a king named Mansa Musa. Now, Mansa Musa is known as one of the most wealthy people in history, and that is even considering modern millionaires. Now, of course, it is of a different whenever you have to do it in like comparison to the day. Mansa Musa was incredibly wealthy, and we're going to talk about him here. During his reign in the early 1300s, he expanded Mali's domain westward to the Atlantic coast and increased the role of Islam, a religious faith that spread slowly through North Africa in the early 700s, when the region was under Muslim conquest. His promotion of Islamic scholarship helped lead to the founding of the famous university at Timbuktu. The Kingdom of Mali weakened after the death of Mansa Musa in 1332. Now, during his time as king, Mansa Musa made the Mali Empire grow and built the university at Timbuktu, which was essentially like the Harvard of its day. I mean, if there was anybody that was wanting to study or further their knowledge, you wanted to go to this university that Mansa Musa had built. But sadly, after his death in 1332, the Mali Empire went into a decline. And by the 1400s, another empire emerged in its place, Songhai. The Songhai capital, Gao, grew rich as a trading center. Under the rule of Askia Muhammad, Songhai sustained an Islamic system of education based in the city of Timbuktu. Like Ghana and Mali before it, Songhai grew rich from trade. In 1468, Songhai's armies conquered Mali and its capital, and as a result, Songhai became the most powerful and largest kingdom in West Africa. Eventually, however, poor leadership resulted in the loss of Gao and the rest of the empire. Now, whenever we look at this picture here, all of the green is the Songhai Empire, which, if we go back, we see in this map the Mali Empire. Now, under Mansa Musa, the Mali Empire had grown to the biggest that it had ever been, and then you'll notice some of the same land that is now Songhai used to be Mali, and that is because the Songhai Empire kind of took over whenever Mali fell into a decline. Now, there's a lot more to talk about with Africa, and we are going to get into that in the next video. So that's it for this one. I hope everyone's having a great day, and I will see you again real soon. Thanks.